Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a short video all about using pounds with directed numbers. If we look here at -3 squared and -3 in brackets squared, they're both going to give us two different answers. If we look here, -3 squared, what we're actually asking is we're doing 3 squared first and then make it negative. So in this case, we're going to end up with -9. Whereas in this case here, this question here is saying -3 multiplied by -3. So we know that -3 multiplied by -3, well, a negative times a negative is a positive. So the answer is 9. Okay, so what if we did something like this? -2, not in brackets, to the power of 3. Well, 2 to the 3 is 8. Make it -8. So what we start to realise is if we don't use brackets, in this case, our answer is always going to be negative. Well, what happens if, say, for example, we always use brackets? Does that mean we're always going to end up with a positive answer? Well, let's just have a look. Let's just say, for example, we start off with this. -2 squared. So this is -2 times -2, which is +4. Okay, let's just say -2 to the power of 3. So it's a negative times a negative times a negative. Well, a negative times a negative is a positive times a negative isn't now back to a negative. So we end up in this case -8. Likewise, we go on. So we go -2 to the power of 4. So a negative times a negative is a positive, times a negative is a negative, times another negative takes us back to a positive. So, and we know that 2 to the 4 is +16. We continue, -2 to the power of 5. Well, 2 to the power of 5 is 32. A negative times a negative is a positive, times a negative is a negative, times a negative is positive, times a fifth negative takes us back to a negative again. So we end up with -32. And consequently we start to rush ahead. -2 to the power of 6, well, that's going to be 64. So to summarise, when we're dealing with negative numbers and we have a even number, the answer is going to be positive. When we've got an odd number, the answer is going to be negative. Hopefully this will help us out. So here's a couple of questions for us. So if we go with this, -5 in brackets to the 2, -3 in brackets to the 3. So if you just want to pause that and just think, what do you think the answer is? So in this case, give yourself a big pat on the back. For this one, if you get the answer, +25. And for this question here, give yourself a big pat on the back if you got the answer, -27. Thank you.